I'm talking about Excel Connect, which is a tool to help you play around with Excel. Now there are two types of problem that we want to look at. The first type is that you have Excel. You want to run commands of R in your Excel. So you are looking for, if this is your Excel, this is your R, and in Excel you have VBA. And you have R here. So this Excel Connect, the software that I am currently talking about, would go to Excel, would get the data or play around with data in the Excel, but you have to do everything from R. So your reference frame is R in the Excel Connect. The other thing that I am looking for is to use VBA to make Excel go to R and do some computation. Now this is a relatively trickier task because Excel has to go to R. R should be working out in parallel, then Excel should tell R to do some computation, and after R has done, fetch the data. This is relatively tricky since this is our computation engine. The default framework that is into play is more like go to Excel, get the data, and get back here. So that's our default framework. So let's look at how this would happen. So this is our screen of R. I'm not using RStudios for now. So the first thing is that when I went to install Excel Connect, the trouble I face is a trouble that is quite common, and you are going to face this. So R needs Java drivers to access Excel. Now the trouble here is your R is 64-bit, your platform is 64-bit, your Excel is 64-bit, but this Java, it's a 32-bit, the default download, and this is a real problem with Java, that they push you to 32-bit download even when you download in the default way. So once you install this 64-bit of Java, then you would be fine with installing R Java. Now you need R Java to run this. So once you install R Java, if you can see on the screen my pointer, library R Java, library Excel Connect. Once you install that, library Excel Connect would work, and you can play around with the commands here like I have done. The only hurdle that you would get here is R Java, and I told you the reason. It's because the default Java installed in your machine is 62-bit. So you need to get 64-bit Java explicitly and install it in the respective folders, because R would go there to the 64-bit folder, search for the Java, because R is 32-bit. The other way is use everything 32-bit, download R 32-bit, but I'm not sure how that would interact with other things. Otherwise, when you install some add-in, and that add-in is going to R, and the R says I am 64-bit, so the add-in would have to get the 64-bit part on itself. So that was one trouble. Now let's move to the tutorial here that I have. So the first part is that we should understand the working directory. There are two types of working directory here. First is the R working directory, and second is the working directory of this add-in. So the R working directory by default is Excel Connect, and this is a file that has been created by R. So this is a file that is not being created by me, it is created by R. You see here the author is Apache POI, it's not my name. On the same time, the working folder of this Excel Connect is somewhere here. So this is the working folder of the Excel Connect. Let me see. Yeah, so somewhere you'll have these demo files or things like that. Let me see. So we might have some. Yeah, so these are the demo files. If you see where we are documents are. So this is the default setting that you are going to get here. The other two documents, I have run this command, these 4 commands, and it worked cool on my system. So the files were created, they were edited. So you can actually use R to edit these Excel files, and you can extract the data and put the data back into Excel. The reverse of that, it's a little tricky. It's not much supported. Is you go to you create add-in and use those add-in here. So And the other part is that it's not free as well. They only allow student version, while R you can use at your work officially. So in that regard, this seems to be the best idea. So I am going to again talk about how to use R from Excel. So there were two things that I did here to install the things, that is to get an add-in that would help me get things there. I am going to talk about how to install this and how to use this into Excel. That would probably help you do a lot of fun stuff here in the Excel world without getting into trouble. Now, there is one disclaimer here that this R Excel and this R Connect, both of them says that they are for non-commercial use, but as a student or as a developer you can use them. So just be careful about that part. So I have been talking about how to use R into Excel, because most of the people love Excel. They don't want to move anywhere other than Excel, and asking them to move into R is a little trickier part. So now our reference frame has changed from R to Excel. We are going to use Excel more or less, but we are going to play around with commands, with things that would go R, get the work done, and move back to Excel. The other way around was in the Excel Connect, where we would have said that we would go to Excel, get the things there, and do all the computation in R. So the reference frame here is Excel. You would say this add-in. So you need to install two things to get it working. The first is R Excel, and the second is DCOM. These two installation. Once you install these two installation, you are good to go, and you will get the R thing. Now R can run on many instances, so that's an advantage of being the lightweight application that R would install, and it would run on from Excel, where you don't need to worry about a lot of things. So this was about my testing that I have started. Probably I'll come to you back with a lot of features here. So you're going to start R, then R output. So let's start R. So this R is a 32-bit, and that is one reason R also comes with a 32-bit thing. Although this is a 64-bit that I was running on the other tab, now you can run a code and do anything that you would like to. So the other part here is like load R file, run that, and do a lot of play here. So markels are working directly. Load R file, copy code, debug, put R, arrays, data frame, run code, disconnect, a lot of things. Let's go there into R Excel help and see what they've given there. So using R from within Excel and code repository from video embedded worksheet function. So scrap mode, macro mode, write macro in the macros applied by R Excel, attaching the macros, attaching. Start new R process, minute connect to server, close R, disconnect R, copy R, and so on. So this was about the part, but this is something that worked, so I just wanted to bring it to your Excel. But mind you, this is not a free application. You go there and you see you will find that this is just for students. So non-commercial users, everything you are employee or your employer does not wait for either regular vehicle for the studying and learning and using software for program. We don't provide other commercial association or education use CP. So that was it. Okay, we are looking at R Excel now. This is one way to run R from Excel, or you can do the same using VBA in Excel. The only trouble that I feel here is that when you say want to run something, you have to run R. So there would be a R module running all the time. It would not be like R would remain closed. And the reason for that is that whenever you want to do any computation in R, R has to be open. Now this is a relatively old plugin. The data that you see here is of 2010. And what this actually does is that when you install this, and you also install one of its driver. So there are two things that you would like to install, the main thing and the driver thing. When everything is done, you have this R Excel add-in. Now this add-in would run your code, would get you some output, would create some charts from you, and once that is done, you can get that into Excel. So if you have a named range and probably you want to get that into Excel, do something and get the graph here, you can possibly do that, so that we are not making any mistake. So this is one of the add-ins that you can use. I was just checking this add-in, and I'm going to do some of the plays again for you. So the add-in's name is R Excel. It can do a lot of play. You can run this from Excel, you can run this from VBA. I did not try it with VBA, but once you connect R, you can get things into R. So here is some example. The first example is you should have this add-in and you should start R. When I clicked on this start, an R console came up. If you closely observe, this is 32-bit R. I generally start with a 64-bit R. Many of the times while using the add-in, I am using 64, so then it creates trouble in some of those add-ins when I wanted to open R. The next part, moving one step ahead from here, is to run this. So select this and run code, and you're not seeing it, but this is actually gone there. So let me check this. So ZA has gone there. Let me change this to just test. So this is like ZAA, and let me run this code, and let me go there and see if A is there. So A is not there, probably this does not run. Okay, let's do now. So probably I've clicked on the edit thing, so it did not went there. So this is how it would work. You can get a lot of things here. Now the one thing that I am concerned about is, can you take named ranges from here directly to there? That's something interesting. We are going to look that very soon in this video. So the next part, select an empty cell and get the value when prompted. So if I want to get some value from R, and I have formula written there, so they say to me that go here, get R value, say array, in the expression link this cell, and you got the value. So this is as good as from what I would believe is doing the same in R. Let me just double check. Yes, so this is as good as playing around with the things and getting them into R. Now selecting an empty cell, get R value and prompted indicate the cell ZB. Let's check that. So select an empty cell further, example J21. Okay. On the content menu, select get R value and prompted indicate the cell number to ZB. Let's try to do this. Get R value and ZB. Where is ZB? Okay, not a problem. So let's skip this for now. I'll get this. So select a matrix to write put R and when prompted name ZC. So select a matrix, put R, an array name. You can either refer this or you can use some string. And if things go right, you should have that here. So this ZC, did I put ZC or ZP? 14, 29, 22, yeah, so that's one. So this is one way to keep doing this. You can try to put around, so you can get any named range into R. You can run those computation and you can bring them back here. So this is one add-in that you can probably use in R. I hope this was helpful. This might help you to get an alternative validation from Excel of any complicated Monte Carlo simulation that you are doing. Thank you for watching. So I'm talking about the R Excel, and in R Excel I am going to plot the graph. So the idea is simple. You need to just get these theta into the R Excel. This is the tutorial file. If you look here, we are looking at put frame, and when I run this, this gets into. Then when I plot this, I'll get this chart. Now one error that you should not make is that don't close this chart, because it's going to use current plot and it is going to bring that graph here. So when you run this code, it brings that graph here. You can use the same mechanism to play around with things and get charts made up of. And now if you look at it, this is a kind of a picture that that R has brought in. The only thing is that you can run these either from here, or you can run these directly using a VBA button here, which you will click and create all those charts or whatever you want to do. The other part is here, where you can do some statistical calculation, whatever you want to do. You can get some range into R, play around with that, get the output. And again, the other part that we have been talking about. So this was about simple chart making and playing around with R Excel data.